He wants to go out with a bang and seal the deal in the penultimate day of the season. It's a title decider, race one of the Pirelli Spanish round in 2025. Pretty even break from the three riders on the front row of the grid. Alex Lowes with an opportunity to get amongst it. Looks like he decided that the championship rivals should go head-to-head, and it's Razgatlioglu who hits the front on the inside line as they make their way through turn two. Bulliger going all the way around the outside. It'll give him the inside now for the left-hander. Razgatlioglu robust in his defence. Now Alex Lowes right on the tail of Nicolo Bulliger, also having to think about defence. Andrea Iannone making a decent enough start from the second row of the grid, and he now makes his progress as they sweep their way through the Cito Pons corner. Nicolo Bulliger pushing Toprak Razgatlioglu out of the way. Andrea Iannone comes through. Alex Lowes with an opportunity as well. Down the hill now, in towards turn six, the Pedrosa hairpin. Razgatlioglu re-establishes himself in second place, but he's gone long, very, very long. Andrea Iannone comes through. Alex Lowes comes through. Nicolo Bulliger breaking away at the head of the field, and Toprak Razgatlioglu's hopes of a race victory here on Saturday in Jerez may be going up in smoke already.
Yeah, and it was very similar to what we saw last year. Bulliger so strong through turn four to set the move up into five, and then that kind of sets off that chain reaction for Toprak.
Razgatlioglu looked desperate for track position on the opening lap, and he hasn't got it. Bulliger's already broken a second away from this scrap for second position. Razgatlioglu wasn't happy with Iannone's attack in Estoril last time out. He's going to be even less happy about this situation as he sees the Ducati, the number 11, set sail at the head of the field. He's now got to leapfrog the top independent Andrea Iannone, but we know how good Iannone is in defence.
Look at Xavi Vierge again, though, making progress on the Honda up inside the top five ahead of Remy Gardner. Really good opening lap from the 97.
On to lap two then. Let's see what the gap is across the line. It's 1.3 seconds already for Nicolo Bulliger at the head of the field. Razgatlioglu needs to clear Iannone quickly and start to apply some pressure. But Andrea Iannone running a really good race here in the podium positions early on.
Toprak needs to clear Iannone and just have a comfortable race through to the rest of this one, because he doesn't have the pace of Bulliger.
Well, there is a real opportunity for at least one rider to get up onto the podium if it's going to be alongside Bulliger and Razgatlioglu. Toprak was certainly making a lunge there in towards the Cito Pons corner for second position. This is what happened first time around in towards turn six. They're making their way down the back straight now. Nicolo Bulliger clear up front. Andrea Iannone still holding on to second position. Heavy braking zone in towards turn six. Toprak Razgatlioglu loves this corner. He will make the pass on Iannone, and this time he does get it stopped for second place.
You can see the big endo on the run into turn one on lap one when that rear wheel comes back into contact. That's what pushed Toprak wide, similar to what happened to him in Misano on lap one as well.
Quick word on the Yamahas in the background of the shot there. Andrea Locatelli has got through on Jonathan Rea and Remy Gardner. So Rea down to 8th position. Important for Andrea Locatelli. Puts a couple of bikes between himself and rival for third in the World Championship, Alvaro Bautista.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do at this stage. And Loca, we've seen it time and again just how strong and consistent he is. And he needs to give himself the chance now just to open up a little bit of a gap over Bautista.
Chance to break away, isn't there? Because Gardner and Rea are not going to be easy to clear for Alvaro Bautista, particularly in the early laps, which is when he tends to struggle. And if Locatelli can then join the back of this group, there's a chance of a podium for him here.
Podium in the offing here for Honda with Xavi Vierge as well, because Vierge does get stronger as races go on. The Honda manages its tyre quite well, and he's got that top speed that should allow him to try and challenge, especially the likes of Alex Lowes. Then it comes down to if Iannone is able to maintain his pace throughout. Toprak's broken away from them, so it is a case of trying to hold your pace, try and keep Toprak honest, but ultimately it is the fight for the third spot.
Xavi Vierge did have podium pace in race one in Estoril, but could never unleash it because he never had track position, and it's important therefore that he can make his passes a little bit more efficiently this time. Who's that's gone off in the background? It's one of the Yamahas.
I think it was Jonathan Rea. It looked like a red tip to his helmet there. And that's up in towards turn four, and that's a fast place to come off to 170 k's through the apex. You enter the corner around about 220.
Yes, the two remaining Yamahas going side by side there, Andrea Locatelli and Remy Gardner, as they make their way through turn six on lap number 3. That has somewhat fragmented the field now. Bulliger up front by 2 seconds ahead of Toprak Razgatlioglu.
Just looking outside the back of our commentary box, Johnny up on his feet as well, walking away from that one. That's a fast place to come off, so it's good to see these upright.
Full commitment right through his final weekend in World SBK, still giving it everything. Jonathan Rea out of race one, 2 more opportunities for a big result. Hopefully he's still fully fit to go racing again tomorrow. Bulliger then clear at the head of the field. Razgatlioglu clear in second place. This is now a fight for third. Alex Lowes putting pressure on Andrea Iannone and beginning to drop Xavi Vierque as well. Bit of a head-to-head developing for third place.
Yeah, we've been able to see how strong and consistent Lowes has been second half this year in the Bimota. They've done a great job with that project to really bring that bike along. And on this lap, Lowes has been able to pull out a few tenths over Xavi Vierque, close up onto Iannone. But once you come onto that straight, he's vulnerable.
Gardner back in front of Locatelli, which means there's now just 7/10 of a second between Loca and Bautista. Obviously, Bautista gains a place after Jonathan Ray's crash. So Alvaro Bautista up into 8th position, 7/10 back now from Locatelli, and no bikes between the two of them in their battle for third overall.
Yeah, and for Bautista, that margin round about 3/4 of a second. We'll see how that fares over the next few laps. We know that in the second half of the race, Bautista is going to get stronger and stronger.
Race finally beginning to settle down on lap number 4. New personal best first sector from Toprak Razgatlioglu. He's going to push in the first third of this race, see if he can bridge that gap. We did see the margins oscillate even when there were no changes of position up front last time out in Estoril. One will have a good phase of the race, another will come back, and we'll see whether that does change. But at the moment, that's just a watching brief. The main action here is for third position. Iannone's 3 seconds or more down on the leader at this stage, but with Alex Lowes queuing up behind him, with Xavi Vierque within 4/10 of a second of him as well. The gap then 1 second to Remy Gardner and Andrea Locatelli, scrapping with Alvaro Bautista over 6th place.
We saw in Estoril afterwards, Lowes was pretty clear about his thoughts. He was faster than the Ducati Bautista for much of the lap, but it also wasn't enough to be able to comfortably make a move and then leave it where you could open a gap before you came to the long start-finish straight in Estoril. Here's a very different challenge. Here's a place where you can get in front and try and break away.
Opportunity perhaps into the final turn, for example, for Alex Lowes. We do see riders make bold block passes through there. It might not be one of the conventional overtaking hotspots in Jerez for Alex Lowes, but here at this circuit in particular, the top speed deficit down the straight and in towards turn 6 is not what it has been at other venues.
Turn 6 isn't the problem, it's the exit from the last corner as you get on the power. That's where you need your horsepower. The run through turn 5 gives Lowes a chance to attack.
So it's Iannone, Lowes and Vierque, 3rd, 4th and 5th positions. That gap coming down slightly now to Remy Gardner behind. 7/10 of a second back to 6th place. Locatelli right on his tail. And Alvaro Bautista, with a new personal best lap last time around, was faster than the 2 Yamahas ahead of him. And this is the danger zone now, where Alvaro Bautista can start to build up his pace.
Alvaro was the fastest man on the track last time around. Bulliger out in front with a 39.0 and Alvaro with a 30... Alvaro.
Aside from the top 2, of course, but who have broken well away.
For Bautista, at least getting himself into that level where he gets that comfort when the fuel load comes down.
Yes, Toprak Razgatlioglu, new personal best last time around to pull back 1/10 of a second on Nicolo Bulliger. Bulliger's opened that gap again here on lap number 5. 2 seconds then the gap to Andrea Iannone. Lowes, Vierque within 6/10 of a second of P3. Gardner losing a little bit of ground early on in this lap, and it's now that Locatelli needs to clear him.
Yeah, Loca needs to come through into turn 13 and just try and give himself the chance to close up onto the back of Xavi Vierque. Vierge's doing a good job to stick with Iannone and Lowes, and Locatelli needs to make sure he's able to get himself closer to that battle.
But at the moment, that's all Vierque can do, and so he seems to be stuck in 5th position. Alex Lowes looks racy enough to occasionally show himself down the inside, but not close enough to actually make a move. The gap's down, 1/10 of a second between them as they come onto the start-finish straight to begin lap number 6. They flash past our commentary position and into turn 1. Iannone still has track position behind them. Andrea Locatelli makes his move now on Remy Gardner. That's important for 6th position, but Gardner has already once been passed by Locatelli and found his way back through, and he's done it for a second time. And the danger now for Locatelli is that a gap that was almost a second to Alvaro Bautista has been eroded to just 1/10 of a second to the closing Ducati behind.
Yeah, and for Alvaro last time round, 39.7, another personal best for him. Locatelli, he's been boxed up a little bit now behind Gardner. He needs to come through and he needs to make the move stick. And
Iannone fading fast as well. 1:40.2 last time around. Lowes, Vierque bottled up behind him. Where can Alex Lowes find his way past? It's not going to be into turn 6 this time around. Andrea Iannone has got it stopped, but Lowes visibly the faster of the two.
Yeah, and ultimately a lot of time here it's coming down to just what that front tyre feels like. Locatelli able to make the move into 6, holds on to it through 7. But now is the moment where that softer front starts to drop off a little bit. That's why some of the riders at the front using the hard front and trying to give themselves a little bit more life through the race. But everyone's been on the limit for front tyre life this weekend.
Bautista 1:39.7 last time around. Again, new personal best first sector on this lap number 6. So Bautista's beginning to come into this race. A lot of bikes between himself and the podium, though. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more difficult for Bautista. He'll want to clear Locatelli and Gardner as quickly as possible as Alex Lowe sets himself up for an attack into the final turn. Iannone sweeps across his bows and covers the line. Lowe's will have the better exit, you'd assume, as Bautista now makes his move on Remy Gardner under heavy braking into turn 13 at the end of lap number 6. Bautista then through for 7th place.
You can see just how much distance Lowe's gives up on the acceleration out of the last corner up towards the start-finish line. So much faster through those fast right-handers at the end of the lap, but not able to make use of it.
Andrea Locatelli a little bit out of shape as he made his way through turn 2, and Bautista is